Hello everybody and welcome back to some more Feed the Beast Infinity Evolved Skyblock. So today we have a few things that we need to make, and there are things I've been meaning to make for a very long time. First thing we want to do is, you may have seen it up here, we need to make an energetic infuser. That is basically a machine from thermal expansion which allows us to place items that can be powered in it, and they will power those items up. So I have all the materials in here I should have pretty much all the materials ready to make the machine frame already, and I just need to get these ones sorted out as well. And I also have the materials in here to upgrade it to a resonant machine. We can take it over here and we should be able to just quickly make a machine frame, and as you can see this looks a ton better that this is actually producing, and it actually has gone up to 1080 RF per tick. That is because obviously these things are holding power within them, they have a capacity within them. So see now it's dropping to 560 because that's still using power and stuff like that. So this should be done obviously a lot quicker now, which is pretty good, and that's basically going to be the easy way of us powering something later. Actually, we might as well talk about it now. So whilst we're waiting for the copper gears to go, the reason I want this is because I'm kind of sick and tired of having to repair these things with shiny ingots. Although we have nearly 1,000 shiny ingots, and like the ability to repair these tools is really easy and not really a massive hit on our resources, I would prefer to really not need to use those materials if I could just use something I have more of an abundance of, which is in this case power. I think that would be a better thing to do. I don't even know I'm doing that because I need to upgrade it. So let's pick this thing up. We need to upgrade it first. So the plan for today is make an energetic infuser, which is happening now, quite obviously. Add these overclocker upgrades to it. It's going to have, what's that? Is that a million RF? I don't know. I can't really. Commas on there. It's kind of confusing for me sometimes. So the energetic infuser is there. It's got the augmentations up there, so it's got a maximum power of 8,000 RF. So we currently have how many tools? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tools that we use on a fairly regular basis. Although you could argue that I don't use these 3 on a regular basis, but I think for the sake of it, we will go with 6 of those things. And then we're going to add 1 extra as our 6th or 7th one as our backup, which I normally just carry 1 around with me anyway, so I can have basically double the charge. So that means that these can go through their entire charge and the entire charge of another capacitor before they run out. So I think what we're just going to do is jump as soon as we can to these redstone flux capacitors. I have hopefully got enough electrotine. Normally it's redstone, but in this case it's electrotine. Looks like we don't actually have enough electrotine, but we can at least maybe do something in a second. Like we're going to have enough electrotine at some point to do this. Currently we can upgrade 3 of these to the next tier. So what we might as well do is, while we don't have the electrotine, get the materials for the other ones sorted. Alright, so we don't actually have enough electrotine yet. We do have enough to actually get to the next tier, but we don't have enough to do all the tiers at once. So I thought, instead of me just sitting around doing nothing, waiting for that number to go up and up and up, and I found the reason it wasn't going up is because all these machines were backed up, had no power, and weren't really doing anything. So I had to move the solar panels here, and they're just sort of helping out, because this thing at the time had 0 power in it. In fact, this was showing minuses on the wire connector, which it sometimes does. So that tells you how bad it is. So that's now kind of fixed. I'm just keeping those there as backup. They're really not affecting this too much, considering the bulk is the resonant one. So what I thought I'd do is the next part of the plan for today, whilst that number goes up, which is to create something called an Alloy Smelter from Ender.io. It's a bit difficult to get in terms of everything, but it's definitely worth it. So we need 4 crushed obsidian, which is going to be an exceptionally easy thing, as I demonstrated earlier. We can just do this now, and this thing has so much in it that it really doesn't matter. Rock crusher. I'm glad I've sort of pushed it away a bit, because I have now jumped in there twice, which is why some of these, this one for example, I think the pickaxes and the lumber axe were the only ones I lost. The rest I actually think I used, and that tells you how little I've used everything. But I accidentally jumped into it again, which is obviously not good, because you lose quite a lot of stuff. We have the 4 crushed obsidian, which is pretty good, so we need to make some industrial craft machines as well to get this thing sorted, but I want to have a look at this thing first. So we need 4 iron bars, pretty simple, aluminum ingot, which actually, how do we make that? Oh, it would be so much easier with the alloy smelter, but we can do it no, we can't do it in an induction smelter. We have to make aluminum blend, which means we need energized glowstone, pretty easy, and what? Yeah, 3 tin and some silver. We need a machine frame. It's pretty simple. We've been through that a million times before, but this one is where it kind of gets a bit more interesting, I think. So we need some redstone chipsets, and we need some signal and that, and also some lapis electron tubes, which isn't too difficult. That's pretty simple. Okay, so I should have everything together now. We have the machine frame there, those, and these things, and then that. There we go. Machine chassis. I realized I just explained everything as this thing, that thing there. Yeah, great from me. Other than that, we have the crushed obsidian. We got 4 of it. We also have the spare basic capacitor, and then we have the machine chassis now. Other than that, we need 2 electrical furnaces here and an induction furnace, which upon further inspection we need another electric furnace for that anyway. So 3 of those in total. We need 7 copper and an advanced machine casing, which is something we haven't made before, which is 4 refined iron, an advanced alloy, which isn't too terribly difficult to make, and also we're going to have to make some carbon plates, 2 of them in fact, and that's not too bad because we can get a raw carbon mesh, so we need to get 2 of those, which is from raw carbon fiber, so we need 4 of those. We get 1 of those from that, so we need 16 coal dust. So other than that, we're just going to have to make the 3 electrical furnaces, which means we need 3 furnaces, which is a bit more difficult than a normal furnace to make. Then we need 15 iron plates. There we go. So 3 of those, and we just achieved hot topic for making a furnace. A proper furnace, that is. To my understanding, we should have everything we need. I did realize after a while that another component of this thing is a basic machine case, so we do have to make 1 of those. We also have to do that, which is fine. I also realized we need 7 more copper. I actually forgot about the extra copper that we needed. It's not too much of an issue though. Then we're just going to need the iron furnaces, 3 of those. Then we're going to make the 3 electronic circuits, which should allow us to make 3 of these, which is fine. And then 1 of those as well, which will allow us to then make the alloy smelter, which for this moment in time we will throw down next to that. You can actually use it to make the capacitors. So if we actually look at these 3 capacitors here, we've got the basic one, which we've already made before, and then we have this one, which is a double layer capacitor. So we need 2 basic ones, a blazing electron tube, which is 5 blaze powder and some redstone, which isn't too bad, but we need energetic alloy, which we can only craft in an arc furnace or in an alloy smelter with 1 redstone, gold, and a glowstone, and 10,000 RF. And we can also use that one to get to the next tier, or we can use the induction smelter to use an ender pearl and an energetic alloy to get to the 3rd tier octadactic capacitor. Let's have a little quick update on the amount of electrotine. We have 21, which actually should be enough. Thinking 21 is the correct amount that we need to have. And now we have all 7 of these. We should. I think we can even do it in here. No, we can't. Okay. We're going to have to go over to the tool table. I hope that setting isn't on where you can't add it based on durability. Yes, you can't. Okay, so maybe scythe we can. Can we with the scythe? Can we just not generally? That might be a pain, considering we just made 7 of them. So, other than that, there are 2 things more that I want to make. So, 2 more things, pretty simple things, in fact, that I want to end up making. The first thing is a capable way of flight. So, if I look up, is it called Flux Pack? Or is it got a hyphen in it or something? It's not even called a Flux Pack. Okay, let's just look up Jetpack. Fine. I want to make a Lodestone Jet Pack at the moment, so there's a pretty simple thing. Lodestone Flux capacitor for lead ingots, steam dynamo, which isn't too difficult, and the leather, which is what I made this thing for slightly, because we needed leather. So I'm hoping that with this scythe and the luck on it, we can actually get 4. There we go. So we should have everything now to make a Redstone Jet Pack, which is just going to be a small way of capable flight, and then hopefully we can just sort of, nope, we can't, because I have not got this thing. So that can go in there, and now we have a Leadstone Flux Pack, which thing I can't actually see in the top left hand corner because that's where my recording stuff is, so I can't do anything in terms of that, but I can. Is that a named spider? Compressed spider, my worst fear. We can now go up here, which is pretty cool. I don't know. Press U while wearing to open GUI. Pressing U. So I guess it's conflicting with something, so I'll have to focus on that later. But I don't think it gets rid of our full damage, but we can at least do that. And that should make if anything bad happens up there, or if we need to change anything. a bit easier, and also just sort of getting around the place. We can go up here and stuff, but I think this is hover mode, so I don't know how to change the modes. I'll have to look it up once I'm not recording. Yeah, pretty nice. So that's second to last thing I want to do. I'm going to just go quickly have a look at the recipe before I do this, just to make sure I can do it, and we'll get on to the final thing, potentially. Okay, so we should be able to make this thing, as far as I can see at least, so it should be pretty good. So what I want to do is I want to make a new energy cell. So currently we have the hardened energy cell, as you might be able to see. So the next logical tier to go to would be to go to a redstone energy cell, which is pretty simple. You know, redstone energy cell frame full, that is just going to be 4 electron, 4 hardened glass, of diamond, 10 redstone. We have 2 diamondite electron tubes, which we already have a ton of anyway. We have 30 of them, an advanced circuit, and a double layer capacitor. However, we could just go straight to a resonant one. The way we go to a resonant one, pretty simply here, we would just basically make, get 4 enderium, which I think we should have 5 anyway, so that's fine. Make 4 hardened glass and an emerald. That will make an resonant energy cell frame full. We can then fill that up with 4 buckets of redstone, so that's 40 redstone. Then we can just basically make 2 emerald electron tubes, which is just 5 emeralds and 2 redstone. Make an advanced circuit, which is just an electronic circuit, 2 basic capacitors, 4 redstone chipsets, and some intricate of those, so that's what, 6 gold and 12 redstone. And then an octadactic capacitor, which is a bit more difficult because we have to make vibrant alloy, we have to make ender electron tubes, which means we need endstone and eyes of ender, which is possible. And then we'd have to make double layers to get up there anyway, so we have to make 4 of the basic capacitors and the blazing electron tube. But it's definitely possible. You may be thinking actually, like, why do this? Why do this if, you know, this thing's going to have 8 million RF in charge and it has a send and receive of 32,000 when we can only currently send, you know, 1024, and we're making nowhere near that. Real reason is future-proofing and also capacity. Like, this thing has got however many, 20,000 RF or 2 million RF, I think that is. This thing has 80 million. This thing is, you know, 40 times more charge, and that means during the days where nothing is going on and we are making power, we're not wasting potential power, which I think is a good thing. That's the basic capacitors done. We then need the alloys, so need the remaining 2 of these. I think making this thing should be fairly quick now. So 2 of those, then 1 of those, and then we've got a resonant energy cell, which is cool. So we're going to switch out this one, get rid of everything. That's going to go there. It's going to power from everywhere but output there. And let's put it up to 3200. So that's going up as fast as it can, and now it's going to go down as fast as it potentially can. Well, not really. Our bottleneck is still the 1024, but that's still more than the 800 that we had. This thing's got obviously 80 million RF in it, so it's going to take a while to fill up. I don't expect it to fill up fairly soon, but I'm hoping for just the capacity to stay high enough so that if we go a full day of still producing power, because again, one of these, the resonant plus the redstone solar panel, so just 2 of these solar panels, is enough to power all 3 of these. These 3 extra are just making extra power. So we should throughout the day produce hopefully enough power to a point where throughout the night it has that ability to just carry on uninterrupted. Or at least that's the hope. Either that or I just need to make more solar panels, which is true anyway. But that's going to be it for this episode, guys. Spent a lot longer on this one than I expected to. But in the end, we got quite a lot of cool stuff. I need to look up the controls for this thing, so I'll look those up in a bit. And yeah, we got this, which I've been looking forward to for a very long time. So I'm going to go to sleep over here and collect more XP from these guys and just collect more electrotine so I can make more solar panels, so I can fill that thing up quicker and just produce more stuff generally. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye bye.